if you can make 10% a year, and if you can avoid paying any taxes, so don't sell, your money will double every 7 years. If you find something that you think is a sure thing, and you bet disproportionately on it because it's a certainty, and it turns out not to be a certainty, that's how you lose a lot of money.
You shameless cloner. Want to track portfolios of famous value investors like Warren Buffett? See their buys and sells, current and historical holdings? Just visit valueinvesting.guru. It is valueinvesting.guru. Link in the description.
The most important thing is to start an investment program while you're young, continue it as you grow, and don't screw it up. That's my most important recommendation. How do you screw it up? You tamper with it too much. And of course, as I mentioned some time ago, the biggest screw up you can do is to sell out at the bottom. And so most people are not really suited for getting in and out of the market. And I said that I think that if that's how you're going to practice defense, it's very problematic. If you look at the stock market has returned about 10% a year for the last 90 years. And if you can make 10% a year, and if you can avoid paying any taxes, so don't sell, your money will double every 7 years. Money compounds at 10% a year, it doubles in 7 years. So let's say your grandchildren are 5, and they're gonna live to 75. You got a 70-year program ahead of them. That means if you can do 10% a year and not pay taxes, both of which are heroic assumptions, that it's going to double 10 times. So you put in $1 today, the kid is 5, right? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024. $1 deposited when the kid is 5 will be $1,000 70 years from now. Just don't screw that up. Don't get in the way of the compounding machine. You know, I think it was Mark Twain, maybe it was Albert Einstein. Einstein said, the greatest invention in history is compound interest. Just get out of the way. Don't screw it up. So I think that you don't have to get fancy, you know, with other things. And by the way, that means index funds, really. An S&P index fund, a Russell 2000 index fund. You know, you want to get maybe a emerging market fund. You might want to have some exposure to the emerging markets, to smaller companies, certainly to China, which is probably going to be, look, before those grandchildren become adults, China will be the biggest economy in the world. So you want to have exposure to China and perhaps the other emerging markets. So I think my advice is a variety of equity index funds which complement and round out each other, and then leave it alone. You know, when automation began to make great inroads into employment, as they did in the aughts and especially the teens, they used to talk about the factory of the future. In the factory of the future, there's one man and one dog. The dog's job is to keep the man from touching the machinery, and the man's job is to feed the dog. It's the same with the grandchildren. My job is to create a portfolio for them and keep them from putting their hands on it. And I think that is a formula which is sure to work in the long run. And anything you do in the short run to try to outthink the market is probably going to reduce your likelihood of achieving your long run goals. My dad used to tell the story about the guy who was the habitual gambler, and every week he would go to the track and lose all his money. So one day he heard about a race with only one horse. So he went out to the track and he put all his money down, and halfway around the track, the horse jumped over the fence and ran away. The point is, there are no sure things. And this goes back to the Mark Twain. If you find something that you think is a sure thing and you bet disproportionately on it because it's a certainty, and it turns out not to be a certainty, that's how you lose a lot of money.